I tried to wait until it's over before shitting it properly, but the damn thing doesn't let me. It keeps piling up bullshit, the fantards keep excusing them with more bullshit. It's now number 6 on Mal by fake accounts, and the topics I made on Reddit and Mal about its problems were deleted immediately, so nobody can have an opinion that different from the fucking circle jerk. It's not my fault, anime community. You force my hand. So here is the update on the problems with this piece of shit that the anime community considers better than Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Number 1. Time resets keep proving how nothing makes sense. Just look how there is absolutely no consistency amongst them. And of course, let's not overlook the time paradox of managing to change the day of death, but everything else remained exactly the same, something which is impossible because of the butterfly effect. Also, we are supposed to believe when he returned to the present, his old self magically forgot everything, life went back to normal, and played out in exactly the same way. Bullshit! And the fanboys still don't accept it is nonsense. They now think the protagonist could always control time travel, but was too afraid to use it consciously. Excuse and bullshit with more bullshit. Oh, and of course, don't expect an explanation for why the protagonist has his power. Magic Space Jesus gave it to him just because. This didn't prevent the fanboys from using double standards all the time about it, saying how real the characters are and how it makes them cry on one hand. But when I prove to them the time resets are unexplained bullshit, they immediately say it is just a cartoon and you shouldn't take it seriously. If that is so, why do you find them real and cry about it? You are insane! Number 2, the protagonist has no steady motivations. They change in every episode with no rhyme or reason. But the fanboys don't notice it because he is a blood self-insert who can be anything and anyone at any given moment because the plot said so. Also noticing how in none of these cases does he ever try to find who the killer is, which is what he's supposed to be doing in order for the show to be called The Mystery. And there is no mystery. It's all a cringy romance between a 10-year-old girl and a 30-year-old man. Number 3, the protagonist runs away from the police, thus incriminating himself for no reason. The fanboys excuse it as him panicking because of the murder of his mother, thus he wasn't thinking reasonably. If that is the case, why is he still running away from the police after he returns to the present? He's calm now and he thinks reasonably. Hell, he spends half the episode playing with children out in the open for everybody to see, and when the police arrive, he's running away again. What is this bullshit? Number 4, the protagonist's reasoning makes absolutely no sense. He assumes he can save his mother by saving a little girl, the two of which have absolutely nothing to do with each other. The fanboys excuse it as if he stops the killer, he will save both of them at the same time. But how is this going to work? Just look at how no matter what he does, has zero positive outcome. Number 5, 10-year-olds in the 80s are somehow masterminds. They can psychoanalyze the protagonist and deduct he's hiding something. He on the other hand can do nothing but stare like an oaf, despite living in the fucking internet era. He's so useless even little children are better detectives than he is. Number 6, the protagonist having birthday the exact same day as the girl is convenient and lazy writing for the sake of cheap feels. And yes, that is a problem. Number 7, victimizing galore. A one-dimensional evil parent hit while laughing her own child for forced drama. No fanboys saying this happens all the time in real life does not make it any less forced or the mother any less one-dimensional. And to make things even more forced, let's have the girl being bullied at school as well. No reason to assume the more victimizing they throw at you, the more absurd it becomes. Number 8, everybody's either too dumb to do anything about it or too blind to even notice the domestic violence. Because a child full of bruises, the testimony of teachers and students, as well as a mother who is constantly running away from inspection is clearly not evidence. P.S. Just wait until the troll reveal where there was never an investigation because nobody really reported it. Number 9, pedophilia. As the protagonist is sexually attracted to a little girl. No fanboys. Just because his body is 10 years old does not make his brain not 30 years old. And nobody knowing he's not really a child does not make him any less pedo. Pleading innocence does not pass in court. Oh, sorry officer, I thought I could have sex with 10-year-olds because I'm a time traveler. Number 10, people lose their jobs, ruin their marriages and live down because of a chocolate bar. But people who beat their children every day while laughing about it are left to do as they like. Number 11, only complete retards open the door to a room they know it's on fire. And number 12, creepy asshole manager serves as a one-dimensional villain for more forced drama. Lusts over Irie, betrays the protagonist, and then tells the cops he's under the bridge. The fanboys try to excuse it like he did what he thought was right, but all we see is him being a jerk who laughs idiotically and saves Irie because he wants to impress her and get in her pants. List of problems with Erased thus far. Number 1. The time resets work in any way the plot wants them to work. There are no rules on how far in the past they send you or why the protagonist has this power.
Low effort, raising questions, so I'll just answer the same way. We know as much as the MC knows, which makes it fine.
It's not exactly specified how they work. That doesn't mean there's no rhyme or reason. Based off what we've seen so far, the time reset happens after the main character is in vicinity of something bad happening to someone else, and puts him at a specific point in time where his actions can prevent that negative outcome.
Number 2, the protagonist has no control over time resets, effectively becoming a plot device, behaving in any way the plot wants him to behave. He's helping people with no motivation other than, well, time resets.
C1 and human moral.
Why does he have to have control over it to have motivation to help people? His motivation is clearly either altruistic, i.e. first episode, or because he cares about the person.
Number 3, the protagonist reacts to the murder by running away from the police, thus incriminating himself for no reason other than forced drama.
You walk into your apartment to see your mother lying dead on the floor. All irrational behavior / decisions is excused.
He reacts this way because of the shock of, seeing the body of his mother. Expecting a person to react 100% rationally to that is dumb.
Sure, I thought that was dumb of him too, although it can be argued that it's part of the fight or flight response since he's not thinking clearly. His mother was just brutally murdered after all.
Number 4, the protagonist believes that making a little girl happy will somehow stop the serial killer from kidnapping and killing her.
It was more about bringing her out of her miserable home / life, as well as being seen with her to warn off killers, if you want.
He believes that saving Caillou is the reason why he was sent back exactly to that point in time, because the murderer of Caillou and the series of murders that happened afterwards were the most major events in that time period.
The protagonist believes that if he befriends Hinazuki, then she won't wander off to the park alone because that's where her body was found and ostensibly where she was murdered in the past timeline.
Number 5, despite being 29 years old, the protagonist is lectured about life by a 9-year-old.
I learn new things every day.
It's not like exceptionally smart kids can't have insights that adults sometimes miss.
Number 6, the protagonist has birthday the same day as the girl he likes. How convenient.
Why is this a problem?
Yeah, sure, it is pretty convenient. I didn't think it was a huge problem narrative-wise.
Number 7, Victimizing 101 as a one-dimensional evil parent hits while laughing her own child for forced drama.
Those things happen somewhere in the world every day. Some people are fucked up, man.
Hinazuki's abuse is part of her character.
Number 8, everybody's either too dumb to do anything about it or too blind to even notice the domestic violence.
The teacher has noticed it. Child protection people have visited the home on few occasions, but not able to provide proof.
It's pretty clear that many adult characters are aware of the abuse, mother-teacher, but it's not always so simple to do something about it. The teacher tries to intervene through the school, but the mother is smart enough to cover up the abuse and avoid the inspections. I actually thought this was maybe the most realistically portrayed case of domestic abuse I've ever seen in anime.
Number 9, being tortured by your parents makes you wiser as a child than an adult who grew up seeing people getting kidnapped and killed.
It doesn't seem to me that Hinazuki is at all wiser than the main character. She can seem more composed at times, because she's not dealing with the dysphoria that the main character is feeling as a 29-year-old trapped in a 9-year-old's body. But it's pretty clear that in their interactions, the main character is the one driving the dialogue and deciding what they do.
Number 10, pedophilia as the protagonist is sexually attracted to a little girl.
He's technically the same age and might have had those feelings first time around, you know what I'm saying?
He dates her to have an excuse to spend all his time with her, so that she's not alone, as explained above.
Number 11, the protagonist wasted all the time he was given in order to stop the murderer by doing nothing other than courting the girl.
How would you do it in his situation? Would you have the perfect answer and do everything right when sent back in time with one chance to do everything correct?
His actions are limited by circumstance. He's not well equipped to solve the mystery, but he needs to in order to save his mom's life.
Number 12, creepy asshole manager serves as a one-dimensional villain for more forced drama.
We don't know anything about him yet, so that's a stupid comment.
How is he one-dimensional? I had the opposite impression. He's clearly close to his employees, but as the main character stated, he wants to do the right thing.
Number 13, more forced drama as another girl gets killed and the protagonist gets incriminated for that as well.
You just don't like this show, do you?
How the fuck would you know whether Satoru would get incriminated for that?
You seem to have this strange conception that drama created through circumstance is forced drama. Actually, it's the opposite. Forced drama would be if a character suddenly got angry for no reason, or if a fight broke out for no explanation. The girl being killed makes perfect sense. It helps the murderer further his goal of framing the main character, and it hinders the main character because it was clear that the girl was trying to help him. I'm not a die-hard fan of Erased either. I've never read the manga, I'm not drooling over the show or writing it off as a top 10 series already. I do think the first 4 episodes have been solid, and I'm curious to see what it goes. I won't irrationally hate on a series simply because other people like it, or because it's cool or edgy to hold contrarian views.
And that's why it's number 10 on Mal. 10 things that are complete shit in episode 10 of Erased. Number 1. The killer is the one everybody suspected it was all along. Anticlimactic revelation is anticlimactic. Number 2. Do you know why it was so obvious? Because the show never attempted to make it seem like it would be anyone else. He was the only suspect. Number 3. People were still surprised with the obvious revelation because they were refusing to believe it would be so obvious. So they called it amazing writing because it made it seem it was too easy to be him. What kind of self-trolling is this? Number 4. The protagonist did nothing to deduct who is the killer. What kind of a detective story is this where there is no detective work in it? Number 5. The protagonist was just wasting his time being with the children the killer was supposed to abduct next, which makes no sense since if he changed the timeline, there is no reason for the killer to go after the same people. But no, the show treats time like you change one thing and everything else remains exactly the same. Number 6. The killer was not revealed because of a mistake he did. He exposed himself and even went as far as monologuing his evil intentions, like a Saturday morning cartoon villain. Great writing, trollolol. Number 7. Do you know how he excuses why he likes killing little children? Because he is evil. Great writing, trollolol. Number 8. Furthermore, the killer is now a complete retard when so far he was presented as a mastermind that would magically appear every time someone would expose him, set a trap to kill him, and then throw the blame on someone else. He always had an alibi. But in this case, not only he was seen living with the protagonist, not only he drugged him, which will show if they ever make a blood test, but he also had nobody to take the blame. He just runs away from town, which is the same thing as infringing himself. Where did your intellect go? Number 9. The protagonist couldn't slip out of a jammed seatbelt, which is something even an adult can do. And number 10. The episode ends with a cliffhanger that makes everybody wonder, oh me gee, what will happen next? What do you think will happen? It's not the last episode, so the protagonist is definitely not going to die. There is either going to be a bullshit time reset once again, or he's going to be plot armored and survive with some improbable way. I told you it was shit since the very beginning, but you refused to believe me. You just delete my threads, downvote my videos, and call me a troll. All you care about is edge, forced drama, and shock factor. Well done, anime community. Continuing with the train everybody loves to hate, let's talk about how the fantards try to excuse bullshit with more bullshit. I have seen it a million times. I point out plot holes in a popular show which there is no way they can be explained, and they will come up with the most ridiculous excuses which to them sound ingenious comebacks, when in reality it makes them look like complete idiots. Famous examples from the Erased topic include: Number 1. Excusing the faults of a show just because they read the source material. That means nothing, you fucking idiot. Adaptations deviate all the time from the source. Number 2. Blaming people for being too critical of a show when there are only a few episodes out. Well, excuse me if some people are too critical of a show that got in the top 10 anime of all times in just a few episodes, and they don't think it deserves it. What I'm trying to say here is that I'm not trying to put it on a pedestal, I'm trying to pull it down from the pedestal. AKA, you're fucking idiots for saying that. Number 3. Blaming people for not getting answers right away instead of waiting for more episodes to come out that will provide answers. Well, excuse me, but when you make a stupid question, you can only get a stupid answer. There is no way for Erased to give a rational explanation to its dozens of plot holes. Without proper foundations, no matter what you build on them, it will definitely crumble. AKA, you're fucking idiots for saying that. Number 4. Blaming people for making videos that will give them lots of views. Yeah man, because when you make videos nobody gives a shit about, this is way better. I want people to watch these videos, you fucking idiot. How else will they realize people like you are spreading shit? Number 5. Which is the worst, is sticking to believing they're bullshit even when they are proven beyond doubt that they are indeed bullshit. You just can't admit you were wrong, can you? You are given the chance to learn and mature and you throw it away. Okay then, I will use your logic. If Hitler was excused for killing all the Jews because he was hungry, then I'm excused when I call you fucking idiots for all the bullshit you're saying. You fucking idiots. The horseshit continues as this masterpiece that got to number 5 on Mal keeps proving what a wonderful community we have when you're given shit and you love it. So here are 10 more things that went wrong. Number 1. Obvious plot armor is obvious as the protagonist gets magically saved without ever showing us how.
Great writing. Tra-la-la-lo.
Number 2. The way he was saved was not because of a time reset, once again proving that there is absolutely no logic behind how it works. Number 3. The killer was interested in the protagonist because he said he knew his future, which is bullshit because if Satoru knew it, he would know the killer would try to murder him. Number 4. The killer becomes a pretentious asshole. He's not killing children because he's a sicko, but because of magic webs that appear over their heads. Sure, you're not a sicko, you're just following ancient stories by going after magic webs. And of course, don't expect any explanation about that either. Number 5. Also, this makes him a plot device. So far, we were told he killed the mother and almost Irie because he didn't want to be exposed. But no, that's not the reason now. It's because unexplained webs were appearing over their heads. The author is driving the plot in any bullshit way he likes. Number 6. The protagonist falls in a coma and wakes up with amnesia. Two of the most bullshit tropes only lazy soap opera writers would be using. Not only that, but they were also completely meaningless. They are both dealt with in the same episode they appear in. Number 7. Because he was in a coma for many years, we get a time skip where lots of things happen out of screen. Another lazy trope which is not even used properly. The only change was the kids he saved getting married and everything else remained exactly the same. Because that's how time travel works. Why would his mother be living in a different place when she is taking care of a comatose man? Or the killer having a different lifestyle when he ran away from town and didn't kill anyone? Number 8. Why the fuck did those kids marry each other? There was no freaking chemistry between them. And why the fuck is every funtard yelling Naturare in the episode discussions for not getting the pedophilia ship they were hoping for? Number 9. Not only the killer did not try to kill the protagonist while he was defenseless in a coma, but also does his best to make him remember. Where did his ingenious plans to keep his crimes hidden went to? And number 10. You take him to the fucking rooftop? Really? The fucking rooftop? Because nobody's going to see you going there, being there, or living afterwards. Why was this number 5 on Mal again? Oh my god, DJ, using quotes from reviews to prove your point and you make funny voices while narrating them? You are finally imitating the snob? And will you stop talking about the same show already? Give it a rest! Why erased sucks, Spot 8. The show will never be erased from his memory, thus 10 out of 10. This will never be erased from my memory either, let's give it 10 out of 10. We only scratched the surface and he's hooked. 10 out of 10 because of the premise. An SAO is about the deadly video games, 10 out of 10. The art is 10 out of 10 because it doesn't have fan service. It's perfect not for what it has, but for what it doesn't have. The Tekken movie doesn't have schools, 10 out of 10. The characters are well developed and feel real, even though there is no development, they cannot be defined when you remove the conflict, and one-dimensional evil parents and victimized children are real. Best anime of 2016, even though the year just begun. He likes Steins Gate. He found something that reminds him of Steins Gate, 10 out of 10. A heartwarming story that will have you be cuddling underneath your blanket. Hikikomori emotional fag. There is death, which creates urgency and dread. And then time resets and they are all alive again. 10 out of 10 because it's in the top 10 of Mal. Circular reasoning. The story is well written because he doesn't even know what is going on. And not because the time resets work in any way the author wants them to work. There are mature themes, such as one-dimensional victimizing, that will teach you valuable life lessons, such as pedophilia being right when you fool everybody about your age and exploit little children for your benefit. And finally, this abomination of a review, which I present you in its fullest. Words are not needed, just read it and weep. And that's why Erased is so amazing, yay!
It finally reveals who the killer is.
Called it! Got him!
I fucking called it! It just felt way too obvious.
Very predictable. It's so obvious. It had to be him.
And because of that, it made me turn a blind eye.
He just completely dismissed it and think that there was no way that this could possibly happen.
The series has to throw off the viewer and make them question themselves.
Man, this anime is such a fucking troll.
I was coming up with my own theories for this series, like what if Satoru was possibly the murderer.
What the fuck?
Teachers responsible for little kids have very terrible motives. If there's a teacher responsible for little kids, there's something wrong with that teacher. Why are you a teacher in an anime responsible for little kids?
Whoa, hold the fuck up.
The teacher is very clever in how he actually performed this. He used a basketball. Really clever because any kid would have a basketball. There's nothing there that would prove that someone would actually intentionally try to do that.
What the fuck?
Usually killers have motivation, normal motivations behind why they do the things they do. This motivation is I don't even know.
It doesn't seem like we will get those questions answered.
It's just fucked up. This guy's a real sicko.
He's just a creepy killer.
He was an evil, sinister fuck.
Great cast of characters.
But because the way this episode was orchestrated and the way it built up to the reveal, it makes up for anything.
It's so atmospherically amazing. It's got some great art direction behind it.
15-yard penalty.
Fantastic episode right here. A great thriller. And I can't wait to see how they're going to wrap all this up in the next 2 episodes.
There's just no way that the animation studio is going to cover those 2 arcs and only 2 episodes left of the series. There's just no way.
Everything is going to start making a lot more sense.
What did I...
Check it out, Erased fans. You will definitely not be disappointed.
How? Okay.
I'm giving this one right here a 5 out of 5.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, what is wrong with these people? What is fucking wrong with these people? They're going straight to fucking hell.
This anime hurts my brain.
This was a very high quality episode of a high quality anime.
Was freaking awesome.
I thoroughly enjoyed this series.
You lived up to your name, bro.
I know I'm not the only one who thinks this.
I love the way they did it.
I'm a sucker for crime scenes, man.
It was everything I've ever hoped for.
It was amazing.
Fucking beautiful.
Pretty interesting just by the concept itself.
It was perfect.
Wow. Serious tone, like a good plot, a good storyline.
It's got a lot of great characters, and it's got a story that's really going to suck you in.
Every episode had your emotions running wild.
I mean, from episode 1, I already knew it was going to be awesome.
Amazing series.
The best anime, hands down.
Said it was amazing.
Anime of the year.
10 out of 10.
Great epic ending.
I was kind of hoping, Satoru and Kaio would end up being together, but they didn't.
They tied it up so well, so perfectly.
This was a fantastically atmospheric and wonderful show that any anime fan should definitely check out.
I love just the tactics that they used on each other.
I will put it up there with Bebop and Death Note.
It kind of reminded me of L vs. Light.
The protagonist is not a pedophile because he looks like a boy and everybody treats him like a boy? So what? If a man-eating parasite eats people, it is fine because people think he's a normal person? By the way, this video is not about if there is pedophilia in the show, which there is, don't have any doubts about it. It's about innocence versus exploitation. Because all the defenders are trying to make it seem like it's not pedophilia because it's a pure and innocent feeling. And in every case it is anything but that, because for something to be innocent, it must fulfill 2 criteria. It must not have a personal gain behind it, and it must have nothing to do with deceiving others. And what is the protagonist doing in the show? He goes back in time to save his mother, not the little girl. His attraction is also anything but innocent, since he's an adult with self-aware motivations. AKA he's using the girl as a tool so he can save his mother. There is no pure love anywhere in this. This guy is trying to make it seem like the protagonist was always in love with her, therefore it's not pedophilia if he was attracted to her even back when he was a child. Lies! We are never told he loved her. Also, if he saves her life, he will have an adult woman to fuck in the present, so it's all okay. So much for innocence. He's seducing a little girl so he can fuck her. Using the time travel bullshit does not excuse it. In fact, it makes it worse. Because he doesn't need to wait a decade until he can have her, it will just take a few days. As long as it's subtle, then there is no problem? Since when is subtle pedophilia okay? I guess Hitler was okay too when he was being subtle about what he was doing to the Jews, and everybody believed his lies about helping Germany.
I love Erased. This one's really good. You should go watch it right now.
This mystery thriller is doing its job correctly, and it's pissing me off because it's doing so well. If there is a tragedy that is about to happen, Revival kicks in. We have a sense of urgency, and he is sent back in time to try and prevent it.
How is there urgency if he can time travel and undo everything?
Changing the past is a scary premise. You can do anything to a timeline and it would have whatever outcome you want.
How is it scary if you can have any outcome you want?
This is why time travel stories fascinate me. It gives you something to think about.
Pretentious overthinking.
Conveniently, this time period is also when those unsolved kidnapping murder cases happen. So now there is a chance to not only prevent one murder, but multiple murders and change fate for the future deceased. Full thumbs up. All of them. All the thumbs. Go see it.
You love the premise because of a lazy plot convenience.
It uses a murder mystery to make sure we stay in that seat and hopefully enjoy every second. Each part of the mystery is given to you in pieces. Subtle hints, small tips, each one important to finding out who done it.
And then the revelation comes and it's so obvious that it makes the mystery pointless. Why are you not disappointed?
I'm 2 episodes away from finishing it, but I wanted to post my review early, even though I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, that's why.
Each episode knows how to create build-up, and for someone who got cut short 2 episodes from the finale and left with a cliffhanger that seems so impossible to resolve that I just had to know what happened next.
Don't worry, the mystery was solved. The killer revealed himself.
When we're experiencing Satoru's child life, the whole episode turns letterbox, so that you know where and when we are.
Because it's otherwise impossible to know he's in the past.
The use of film reels to show memories. That was a clever touch.
Because it's otherwise impossible to tell their memories.
They use new techniques to help tell the story.
New techniques so you don't have to think anymore.
He has his adult mind, but the body of a child. You have to have a sense of innocence and a playful attitude most of the time, and Erased nails this mindset, beautifully written in how everyone would act.
Then why is nobody acting like his age?
The killer is way too crafty for his own good. He's always like 5 steps ahead. I can't understand it.
There is a very good reason for why he's so smart. Magic webs.
Child abuse and loneliness. Oh, if you could see my look of horror.
Cheap thrills and forced drama. Oh, if you could see my look of boredom.
These are good topics to explore if you want harsher and softer feelings to be shown in your quieter moments.
Also if you like shipping pedophilia.
This is what Erased excels at, showing problems that need to be fixed.
Snap, no other show does that. So, what do you think of my review of your review?
Oh, I got chills when you did that because it made sense. I am subject to being mobbed and beaten. Don't hurt me too much.
Some of you want me to stop shitting on Erased. Some of you don't know that it passed Legend of the Galactic Heroes on Mal and is the highest rated anime of all times on Anime Planet. If you still think I don't have a good enough reason to continue my crusade, you are fucking idiots. I'm trying to help you before it's too late. In this episode of Erased is garbage and yet you still love it, this post states that it doesn't matter if the protagonist is not really a kid, since the characters in the show think he is a kid, so it's all fine. He also states that we, as an audience, know that he is secretly trying to save people's lives, so his actions are excused to be manipulative. Basically, the same character can have different faces depending on what someone knows about him. When simplified, we get what I call the facial trinity. It's what the characters in the show think of someone, what the audience think of someone based on how the director is presenting him to us, and there is also the face of logic, which is what someone actually is regardless of what the characters or the director say about him. For example, the protagonist of Death Note is assumed to be a charismatic person working with the police against the crime, but we as the audience know that he is secretly the criminal mastermind behind everything. There is no problem with that since it makes a character more interesting. What becomes a problem is when there are moral or ethical implications in whatever he is doing. This is what the third phase is for. The best way to judge a character that is ambiguous is to simply see him through the lens of morality and logic. It is a fairly overused stereotype to have a protagonist being scorned by almost everybody in the show, while at the same time being presented to us as someone who is in reality serving the greater good and willingly takes all the blame upon his shoulders. It's what gives a tragic side to an otherwise heroic character, which in turn makes him more appealing. Though this appeal doesn't look so nice when you judge it logically. Most tragic characters will come off as quite the hypocrites when you spot the contradictions in their actions, or how their ideals are flip-flopping depending on whatever serves the plot. This is why we have one of the most lovable anime characters of all times having this striking resemblance with a certain dictator. And thus with simple logic I prove to you all why the top-rated anime of all times is about a manipulative pedophile. Well done, anime community.
I think I've found the dumbest thing in the planet. God, this guy's voice is so fucking grating. The fuck is the background? The fuck is the Why? Why is he doing that? I just love how quickly he says it. Like, there's just no spacing between the words. Didn't do a second take.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Don't make yourself or the community look bad. He's basically a commentary track for the anime community if you accidentally set your commentary track to absolute hysterical wanker. The closest thing he's probably had to sex is one of those shitty online sex games. I just think he's a horrible person.
I often call characters plot devices, yet many of you don't seem to understand what I mean by that. The easiest way to tell the difference between what is and isn't comes down to the conflict of the story working separately from the objectives of the characters. We often consider these two to be the same, since a hero is supposed to beat the villain, or an athlete is supposed to be the champion of his sport. Yet, it doesn't have to be like that. A character has more dimensions to his personality when he has multiple objectives instead of just one. The conflict can be one of them, it can even be the main one, but it shouldn't be defining the character. A lazy story makes it impossible for a character to exist outside the primary goal. What is a hero without a villain to beat, or an athlete without a sport to be the champion of? He ceases to exist as a distinctive individual the moment the conflict is resolved. If, on the other hand, he has a hobby or a job or marriage problems, he can retain his personality even if he doesn't have something major to achieve anymore. And that is why fleshing out a character with lots of secondary traits and side stories makes him far more than just a mouthpiece or a bland self-insert.
Some of the worst kind of anime fans are the elitists. You have the anime-only people and the manga-only people. Just think their shit is the best, the elitists. Then you have the people that are classic anime fans. The new shit is trash, the old shit is the bomb. And the rabbit hole of elitism continues. There's always a fandom that thinks they're better than you. You don't gotta be a dick about what you like. Just say, hey, I love this, it's my favorite. Leave it at that. The next time you want to be an elitist prick, take a look in the mirror and you'll see the guy behind you saying you're a fucking idiot.